Hey, good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I am Ken Walls and I'm your host. And today I have the one, the only, the inimitable Justin Breen on the show. And you guys are going to, he's got a book that's on the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. Like, come on, that's huge. So do me a favor and share this out with all of your friends and family and get ready. This guy's going to blow you away. And we are back. Let me bring Justin on. Justin, welcome
Hello.
to the show.
Hey, buddy.
Again, you've been
Go
on
Reds.
before.
Go Reds.
we were talking sports. We were talking the Reds. Baseball right now is insane. But so Justin, it's been several years since you were on the show. You're one of the top I was telling Connie, I'm like, Justin refers the most incredible people to me to be on the show. You really do. You're I think you're under what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. People don't realize how connected you are. What's a word for that?
The right people understand.
As you can see, his sense of humor is a little bit dry. So,
that wasn't a joke. That was definitely not a joke.
I know. I know.
Right.
I know. So, dude, you've got a you've got a couple of books. One that's is it currently still on the Wall Street Journal bestseller?
I don't think so. I don't. It was. Yeah. I don't think.
Well, it's look, Joe Ingram says he's the
Hey Joe, it's Joe. Hey Joe.
I love Joe. Yeah, I love Joe. So talk about just for people that don't know who you are, tell them where you're born and raised, where you're from, where it all started.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. I just took an assessment the other day where it literally asked me to I think it's called Gene Keys, GeneKeys.com, and then it asks you to plug in exactly where you were born and then what time and like what hospital and what day.
Wow.
And then it it's pretty interesting and it was pretty accurate. It basically said there was no example like that I was a one of a kind, barely human, and no example to follow. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like a unicorn within unicorn. So that was a pretty good thing. I didn't answer your question. I was born in Highland Park, Illinois, April 10th, 1977 at 5:05 a.m.
Wow, that's really specific.
That's what the test asked me, so I just remember.
I'm in no way affiliated with them, so
me neither. I'm not. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so funny. So right. I think anytime I think of you, I think of there's Justin and Elon Musk and I,
Elon with less kids. I'm Elon with less kids and slightly more empathy, just barely more empathy than. He's one of the few people I can think of that actually does have less empathy than I do. So the there's 34. There are 34 strength finders, Gallup Clifton strength finders. I'm 34, dead last in empathy, second to last in includer. However, there's a caveat for top visionary entrepreneurs, people like you. Endless empathy, endless inclusion, endless. And it's very rare. It might happen once or twice a year. I meet with someone that has less empathy than I do, and my wife is she's a pediatrician. She's first in harmony in strength finders, and she's very high in empathy. And so when I meet someone with less empathy than I do, I go, wow, is that how? I'm like, wow, I met someone with someone who has less empathy. Is that how regular people think of me when I talk to them? She's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God. Well, it's a good learning experience. It just doesn't happen often.
So, well, do you feel like you need to make an adjustment on that?
No. No. So, but it's just an interesting learning experience. When it had, like, I'll give you an example. I was talking to to a visionary. She's over 160 IQ, so 140 is genius. When you get over 160, there's no human. Like Elon's way over 160, but
yeah, right.
He's like it's like cyborg. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, right. Yeah,
he's definitely from a different.
Yeah, he's not a human in any capacity. So 160s and above have a real hard time with being a human in any capacity. But so I was talking to her. And you wanted to talk about Colby.
Yeah.
And I was talking to her. I'm like, oh, hey, have you taken Colby? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, can you send it to me? She's like, no, I'm not going to send you my score. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, so are you over 160 IQ? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, do you have a family? And she's like, no. And like, you ever thought about it? She's like, no. Do you have a hard time talking to anyone? Yes. And
wow.
I could feel it. But so I'm 139. My wife also is 139 IQ. We're 1 point technically below genius. But it's like I'm like a bridge between genius and humans. But like I was talking to the visionary over 160. I'm like, oh man, that's a real tough life, because there's no chance of family. Like that had to be a very difficult life, being that low in empathy.
Well, it's the epitome of being socially awkward, I guess.
Oh God, the word. And I am socially awkward. But I'm not. That's like that is I'll give you another example. I know this guy is he's a 173. I'm in abundance 360 with him. So this guy was fired by Elon Musk over a philosophical difference. I don't even know what that means, but that's what. So he was telling me that, and so I was talking to him about his life, like trying to be a human, because I have a wife and 2 children. But so he has a human girlfriend, like a nice human girlfriend, but he won't go out in public with her because he can't pretend to be someone else. He can't do it, so he just stays at home.
Oh my God.
I can go out with, like, I love my wife more than anyone on the planet. She's a very brilliant human, and her friends are somewhat smart humans. So I'll go out with them, but I just pretend I'm someone else. This guy can't even do that. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Ingram is feeling your pain. He said it's difficult being a genius.
Well, people. So thank you. Thank you for saying that, Joe. So all I do is talk to geniuses all day, whether or not they're over 140 IQ or not, or just talk to visionaries all day. And then I hear blah, 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 and then simplify into patterns. That's how my brain works. And so here's the answer, here's the pattern, here's the answer. So people like us, usually, but not always, are aliens within their own family, community, and verticals. The only people who understand us are top entrepreneurs on planet. So not business owners, not small business owners, not humans, not consultants. That I don't even understand any of that stuff. It's annoying to me. And then it's annoying. And then it's just transactional stuff. And then, so most of my life I was talking like this and no one understood what I was talking about. Now I just understand that the people who do understand what I'm talking about are top entrepreneurs on planet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, I think that most of the top entrepreneurs on the planet will not identify as top entrepreneurs on the planet.
Well, because they're an alien, they don't know it. Yeah.
I don't see myself, and I just don't. I don't know. I think I may have more empathy than you do.
Oh, well,
Um,
the odds are yes, you do. And
yeah,
then again, strength finders, I'm 6th in self-assurance, 6th. A lot of the folks I talk to are low in that, so they have imposter syndrome. So
yeah.
I do not.
How do you? Okay, so you're obviously not a teenager. Um, how
Mm.
what? How did this all even like
Ah.
come about in your life? I mean,
Mhm.
who talks about the stuff you're talking about right now? Like how did it?
Feelings. Well, I can explain it. I'll give you
Yeah,
a full lifetime explainer on that.
I would love that.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you full screen too, by the way.
Oh yeah, I never look at the screen. I see things in
Yeah,
space. I never look
yeah.
at. But thank you. So if Joe or someone else makes a comment, let me know because I'm
I
not going to
will.
look at it.
Well, had Joe already said you love him? You love him second most.
Okay. Yeah, Joe's gonna little child. Okay. So I'll keep this as short as possible, but you can't really keep something like this short. But so my father was 61 when I was born, 61. My mom was
Wow.
27. And my father was a World War II hero, shot down multiple times in combat, many times without a parachute, got back into the plane. He died when I was 13. He became attorney in Nuremberg, Nazi war crime trials, and then came from nothing. And then age 5 to 13, when I can remember him with a brain, he would say the cream rises to the top every day. So we partner with the cream that rises to the top, or folks that'll get into a,
Wow.
plane without a, yeah, well, that's my litmus test. You're either someone who can do that or you're not. I don't, people who
Right.
are not, that's why they stay small business or human or consultant, because they're not. So,
Yeah.
um, and then my mom was 27 when I was born, 34-year difference. And then when my dad was in his late 50s, a drunk driver hit him head on. Drunk driver was killed. My dad broke most bones in his
Jesus.
body. He woke up, thought he was dead. He woke up, thought he was dead. And my mom was staring over him. He thought she was an angel, but she was his nurse. So that's how they met. So,
Wow.
and so my mom has more hustle than anyone I've ever met. She's still alive. So I'm a combination of that. And then after my dad died, his last living brother, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but his name was Stan, he became kind of like a father figure to me. And when I was in college, he had me read The Prince, Machiavelli's The Prince. And so I'm 46 now, 46. And then so I read that probably when I was 20.
Wow.
And I finally put the pieces together of why he had me read this. I put it actually to yesterday. Yesterday, I finally figured it out. It's an interesting thing because, when you connect, I'm good at connecting the dots and seeing the patterns. This one just took a lifetime of finding it. But so, for those who haven't read Machiavelli's The Prince, 1500s Renaissance, 1500s, and the main idea of The Prince is it's for a ruler, not a manager, not a human, a ruler, a visionary, not a human. And then the main point is the ends justify the means. The ends justify the means. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean? So I like to listen and talk to people that are older than me because they remind me of my dad and they have the most wisdom.
Yeah.
And Earl Nightingale, he's the OG of motivational speakers, of Earl
Yeah.
Nightingale. Okay, right. People like, right. So this is a human wouldn't know who that is, but a top visionary like you would, even though you don't think you're a top visionary. But so Earl Nightingale, early 1900s. My favorite quote of his is success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. My worthy ideal is the purpose of my life, which besides hanging out with my wonderful brilliant human wife and our two somewhat human genius children who are 8 and 10, both boys, purpose of life is to be connecting superhero for every visionary, not human, not business owner, not consultant, visionary ruler who shares their stories with the world. Their world people bore me. Only the. And so every day, progressive realization of where the ideal is purpose of life. I try to get better and better at that every single day. And people either understand me or they don't. If they don't, I don't care, because the ends justify the means. So I finally put that together with the Prince, Earl Nightingale, Dan Sullivan, strategic coach, talks about unique ability. Dr. Peter Diamandis, who wrote forward for my book, Abundance 360. Talks
Dude,
about
Dan, I gotta stop for a minute and say, Dan saw, like, I had Ben Hardy, his mother is a really good friend of mine, and Ben was on the show
Interesting.
recently,
Yeah.
and Ben is freaking
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Ben interviewed me for Gap in the Game.
Oh my God. Hey, dude, the books that Ben and Dan are putting out are just,
Yeah.
I have it right.
Of course.
This
I'm not
10x
looking, but
is easier than 2x. I'd love to hear your take on that whole theory, but
I can tell you immediately what my theory is on that.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, so humans, business owners, consultants, their 10x is revenue, office space, employee count, whatever that is. There are only two 10x's I care about because I'm a simplifier, and the ends justify the means, and success is progressive realization of worthy ideal. So sometimes I answer questions before they're asked, but only two 10x's. One, experiences in life with my family. When you have a good family life, you have a good life. If you know someone who has a good family life that has not had a good life, I'd like to meet them, regardless of whether they're a maniac like me or not. I haven't met anyone. Okay. And then two, network on a global level. When you 10x your network on a global level, one, that's the purpose of my life. Two, you create endless opportunities for your network and yourself, and all this business owner stuff takes care of itself. The ends justify the means.
Can you dive just for my sake, not the audience? They probably all understand what you mean. When you say the ends justify the means, can you put that in layman's terms so I understand what you mean?
So, okay.
Like, give me an example.
Okay, so if someone asks me, what do you cost or charge? I'll never talk to that person again, ever. Why? Because they're not a visionary who lives in abundance and who looks at things as investments, not costs. So me being direct and eliminating those folks from my life, the ends justify doing that, because I can't live the purpose of my life and spend time with my family if that person interferes with that. It's very simple.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Actually, I love that.
Well, thank you. I haven't done anything outbound in years, and then you connect the right people to the right people. This other stuff takes care of itself, and the right people do not want to be introduced to the wrong people. It's annoying.
It's incredibly annoying.
Well, why? So why would you do that? So humans, and then again, you're either someone who can get like my dad, who can get back into a plane without a parachute after another one's been shot down. Most people can't do that. That's why they're not top visionary on the planet.
Right.
And that's fine, but you're either born like this or you're not. And I understand that, because I was talking like this most of my life, and people would look at me like, what are you talking about? I go, well, you just don't understand. And then I just kept talking like this because you never stop. It's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I, again, literally just learned that it's okay. Not only is it okay, but that's the only way to do it, because that is what justifies everything.
Wow. Yeah, you're definitely. I'll say this from just an outsider kind of. I mean, we're friends. You refer a lot of people to be on my show.
They're not people.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. You're right. You're right. But I think that if somebody asked me to describe Justin, I would say you have to meet him. I can't. Whatever I tried to do to describe you would be an injustice. So
thank you.
You're on a completely different level. Imagine Elon Musk with a little bit more empathy. That'll be my new.
Wow, that's the nicest thing I've ever heard in my. Well, and I'm very grateful for people like him. I would not want to be like that.
Yeah.
That I would not. That's a tortured life for me.
Yeah.
That would be a tortured life.
There was, an interview with him I saw recently that Elon paused. It was the longest, most awkward pause of any interview I've ever seen when this guy asked him a question about what he's doing with Twitter and the freedom of speech stuff. Elon's going to die on that sword. He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care at all.
He does not care.
He doesn't.
But it was the most unbelievable, like 20, 30-second pause. Elon didn't say a word. And then he came back. I forget what the exact, but it was like unbelievable, his response. Like it was just like, anyway, that's how I see you, man. So so there are a lot of people who are brought up in this world to believe money doesn't grow on trees, and they have a program running.
Farmers.
Yeah. Do you ever, this is almost rhetorical, do you spend any time trying to help people fix their programming?
No.
Why?
Because I help people. I connect people that help everyone else. That's how I help those people.
What, don't you see something wrong with the world running these crazy programs?
No, I only focus on abundance.
I know you do.
I don't know. I don't see any scarcity. Nothing. Yep.
I love that.
My world's entirely abundant.
So talk about your most recent book, and can you hold up a copy of it? Do you have it right there? It is. Let me give you full screen so everybody can see it. Yeah. So, there you go. So the foreword written by who?
Dr. Peter Diamandis, who's one of Elon's best friends, founder of XPRIZE. Yeah.
So talk about the book. Why does it exist now?
I'm not going to give you a 30-second pause on that, but so my brain turns everything into patterns, everything. And all I do is talk to visionaries So I talk to 1 to 2 of those folks every single week, that have let entrepreneur life destroy their family life or prevented them from having a family, anything meaningful. Entrepreneurs are the most damaged people with the best coping skills, the most damaged with the best coping skills. And then they use those coping skills to create big company, wealth, whatever that stuff is. And then many times they torch their family or never have a family in the process. So that's a problem. And then so the book is about how to build collaborative global companies while putting your loved ones first. I know that's what most people like us want. They just many times don't know how to do it because they're so damaged, and the damage creates the coping skills or they have the coping skills that creates all this stuff, but they don't really have anything. So that's why I wrote it.
To save families.
Oh, wow. Wow. So I don't usually get like that.
But it's the truth.
That's what it is. It's not only to save them while they're there, but to save them before they even get started. Wow, that was very powerful, Ken. I don't get like that. That was very powerful. Thank you.
But it's the truth, man.
Right.
I mean, I think I don't know if I believe in
that was beautiful
predestination stuff.
I do.
But maybe there is.
No, I do.
I think that we do have a responsibility, no matter who you are, no matter what program you're running. There, you were given an assignment of some sort,
right,
before you got here, and most people are not carrying out that assignment.
Yeah, well, they're not getting back into a plane after another one's been shot down. You weren't, so I don't talk to those people. That's my point. What am I going to? There's nothing to say to that. I just talk to the ones that do it, and then they help everyone else. So this is what separates entrepreneurs, from everyone else. Four things. Man, what used to save families? I was very powerful. See, I am a human. That was my humanity, like stopping there. Like, wow, that was beautiful. Okay, here are the four things. In the last 2 years, I've talked to 2 people less than 3 of these 4 things. When I first started 6 years ago with zero business background, I was talking to 1s and 2s because it was small business owners, employees, but now it's basically all 3s and 4s. So these are the 4 things that separate entrepreneurs from humans. 1, bankruptcy or potential bankruptcy. 2, depression. 3, highest level of anxiety you can imagine. 4, likely and or possible traumatic experiences as a child or young adult. So for overwhelming majority of society, the ones not doing anything, in my world, that would be not doing it. Those are excuses. For entrepreneur, figure it out. That's what. And then entrepreneurs have the highest IQ, the highest EQ, the most courage, the most hustle. And then those coping skills are used to create all this stuff with that damage, and then they torch their family.
Wow. So your book is it has a purpose. The purpose is to save families.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Almost get me to cry. That's what it is. And it's to save here. Thank you. So it's to save families for people like us, because people like us are the ones that save humanity. And they're the ones that should be rewarded the most because they take the most chances. And so why should they be miserable without the family? They take the most chances.
My wife comes from, she's watching, by the way. She said, wow,
she's a stabilizing human. I know, because I think you told me that you're bankrupt and you're like, oh, several $100,000 in debt. So you're like, oh, I'll just get this big house and we'll figure it out. So usually people like us marry stabilizing humans who are and then they kind of take more chances in life.
Yeah.
My wife's a full stabilizing human who now takes more chances in life, and thank God for stabilizing humans. But then they can thank us because we let them have a more fun life, kind of.
Oh, that is so funny. Well, I'm not bankrupt, just for the record, but
I know.
But I mean, look, here's me. I like, people are like, hey, what do you think of this? And if I like it, I'm like, let's freaking go. Well,
right.
We got to make a plan. I hate plans. No, let's freaking jump off the cliff and pray that wings appear on the way down, and we figure out how to make them work.
The ends justify the means. Jump.
Right. I don't understand planning. I don't get that.
That's nonsense to me. Well, Dr. Doug Brackman, he wrote the book Driven. It's an excellent book. IamDriven.com. There's a free 5-minute assessment. I was on his show. He said he's never seen a brain like mine. That's a great compliment, because all he does is talk to people like us, and he was genuinely confused by my brain. 3 reasons. 1, my intuition it's off the charts. Intuition, off the if it could be higher than 10, it would be, because I see things in space. 2, I'm actually less bored than a regular human because I never leave my zone of genius ever. Most visionaries are all over the place, endless ideas, shiny objects, so they're bored. I'm never bored because I never leave. And then 3, my perfectionism is like a 0. Just do it. I don't care if it's perfect planning. No. The only way to learn anything is to do something. And all these financial people and lawyers. I'm glad the world has this, but all these planners, they're playing not to lose. They're not playing to win.
Thank you.
They overthink everything. I don't talk to any of those people because they're keeping me away from my family and the purpose of my life. That's another way the ends justify the means, by the way. So if I have to ignore most of society, so be it. The ends justify the means.
Dude, you're like my smarter twin. I swear, because I can't. I can't. I oftentimes wonder what is wrong with me.
Nothing.
When I see, like, I can't.
There's nothing wrong with you. Well, again, Brackman, he's a genius. Most of the world's that's why I said farmer brain. That's from Driven. Like most of the world's are farmers, and then you and I are hunters, so we have hunter brain. Just different brain, totally different brain.
Do you ever do things in life or business? This again, another rhetorical question. That people go, what are you doing? That's insane. You can't do
our
that.
sons. I'm taking my sons. They're 8 and 10. They're both 9 quick start, 2 follow through maniacs. Maniacs a compliment. They're pure pioneer visionaries. So I'm taking them Asian carp hunting. Well, I guess it is technically hunting, but Asian carp fishing, but we're using a bow and arrow. That's in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're so excited. So excited about that. But no, I mean, I'm most at peace. This is live. This is live. Okay. Okay.
It's all right.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm most at peace. I have a pretty fast car. I'm most at peace when I'm driving in my car, many times with my children, very fast, or skydiving. I like most at peace.
Yeah. Okay, that I can't do that. Sorry.
Or you can.
No. Nope, I can't.
I'm afraid of heights, so I just went skydiving to.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
I mean, I get that.
That's how I feel about cats. That reaction you just never get a cat.
My wife's watching.
I know. That's why I said it. I know.
But you know, so talk about though, like the she said, "Wow," which is she says that a lot throughout the day because we work together. Talk about the you're involved in a lot of involved in strategic you're involved. I mean, Kathleen, I know you know Kathleen.
She's wonderful.
Oh my God, that woman. You referred her to me, I believe.
Started her latest company at age 68. Yeah, the PR for if we're not partnering people like that, I get really bored. So
she's freaking unbelievable.
Yes, a great human.
So talk about because here you said you're 40 what? 6? Yeah. 46 years old. You have this PR firm. I know it's a huge
whatever it's called.
Firm, right. But talk about that. Talk about what I'm assuming did you go to college? I don't remember.
You asked me this. Yes, I did. I did.
Okay. So you went to college. You got out of college and just started swinging the bat.
Your wife has a marketing degree, from what I remember.
She has a degree in she'll tell you. I don't know what her degree's in, but she was global VP of marketing.
Yeah, right.
You know, all this stuff, but she's a genius and that in that space. Like, oh my God, I'm like, please. Would you please just talk to me down here on planet Earth? Cause I don't understand what you're talking about when she starts talking marketing. But how did you get into what you're doing? Where did that come from? Like how the PR piece?
Well, okay. Okay. I'll answer that in several parts. So formula for creating a successful global company is simple. Again, pattern, but you see a problem, create solution, problem solve, successful global company. So I was a journalist for 20 years, created an entire company based on how PR firms annoyed me for 20 years. I have no idea what PR firms do. I don't understand. I don't understand marketing in any capacity.
They don't know what they're doing. So anyway.
No, right. So I don't know. So, okay. So create the solution. All right, great. So, and then we only partner with visionaries, but so anyone that asks, what do you cost or charge? See you later. Anyone who lives in scarcity, see you later. It's so people like Kathleen, that great. They want to be, okay. So, and then again, you're either born like this or you're not. I was just born with a story, which I, just talked about my parents. And then my dad, there's diary entries in the first chapter of Epic Life. My dad wrote a diary of him fighting in Battle of Hurtgen Forest toward the end of World War II. Horrific battle. Every day gets worse, every day. And I found it after he died. I write exactly like he does. So I just was, and then my mom is pure connector, pure hustle. And so and then I hear the same problem with, I hate the term PR, but that's what, so I hate it, but like, that's what the PR firm does. Is I hear the same problem. We're tired of being best secret. We want to be connected to right people to create more validity and credibility. And what I found, because success is progressive realization of worthy ideals, that things like this for people like us are far more important than the Forbes and TV and all that, whatever that human media is. Because this is a transformational platform for entrepreneur visionaries. That's what these things are.
I love, I don't know if you saw where Elon, I don't know. Every time I talk to you, I'm like, I just think Elon. It's crazy. But he was interviewed by the Babylon Bee, and did you see that? And it was funny as hell. They handed him a piece of paper with an IOU for $44 billion.
Good idea.
It was so funny because he let him back on Twitter. But what about the people you deal with who have? Because entrepreneurs are the smart entrepreneurs, the ones that are willing to really take a chance, end up a lot of times with their a PR problem. I'll just put it.
I ignore crisis communications. That's annoying to me.
Do you really?
Yeah, because it's so I was an entrepreneur. I live in abundance, not scarcity. Yeah, I ignore no. Yeah, I don't like that stuff. So when I was a journalist, I was an entrepreneur who happened to be a journalist. So never understood if it leads negative news. Political stuff. I completely ignore I don't even think about that stuff. So journalists who loved writing about that stuff, I had no idea what they were doing. And I had no idea what they were complaining about. When I was a journalist or an entrepreneur who happened to be a journalist, wrote about and connected cool people changing the world. And then now I just write about and connect cool people changing my purpose has never changed. It just, when was a journalist, was just doing it for a media company, now doing it for the people, the actual visionaries, and for my family and me, but for the visionaries.
Yeah. Dude, that's so awesome. I love that.
But yes, visionaries get into trouble because they're the most damaged people with the best coping skills, but the coping skills create this. Right. So they get into trouble. I don't focus on that. I focus on the ones like Kathleen. Yeah.
Well, and I've had people, because I know SEO really, really well. And they're like, I had an employee that went out and said all this bad stuff about me. And how do I get rid of that? And they wrote an article, and I'm like, you got to focus on the positive, man. You got to put out a lot of positive stuff. Like, it'll bury it eventually. But anyway, so talk about the Colby score. And for those that are watching, Justin has 8671 Colby. That actually means something. Nobody watching knows what that means.
No.
Maybe a couple.
The ones that get it do.
What is it? Talk about. I've never heard of it until today. So I'm excited to hear about this. And actually, Connie, who will probably watch this replay, what you guys are like Colby twins or something?
Almost.
Said.
Almost. I put the number out there because I'd like to meet another 8671. I haven't yet. I don't think I ever will. Connie's she's a 7671, which is that's the closest I've seen to mine. So okay, I'll land the plane. So Colby, KOLBE.com, A index, red button, takes 20 minutes. It's $55. I'm always amazed when someone's like, oh, I did it, but I didn't want to pay for it. I'm like, well, wow, you're not a vision. But that does happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so bad. Like, oh, $55. You'd be amazed, or maybe not. But so then I never talked to that person again. But okay. So it's not your personality. It's how your brain takes action. I don't care what someone does or where they live, or how big company. I don't care about any of that. I want to know if they're actually going to do something. And the overwhelming majority of visionaries, Connie and I are actually exceptions, but the overwhelming majority of visionaries are very high quick start. That's boom, 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 boom. Not afraid of anything. And then little to no follow through. So they're all over the place, endless shiny object. That's ADD diagnosed. Oh, thank you. ADD diagnosed or undiagnosed, not a disorder. It's a sign of genius mislabeled by humans. And if they don't have a team of humans or whatever that is around them, it's a total disaster. So Connie and I are the very, 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 very rare visionaries that have high quick start, boom, 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 and high follow through. Hit the gas, pump the brakes. Hit the gas, pump the brakes. Say it, do it. Say it, do it. She and I also have high fact finder. So learning. And then the last number, she and I are both 1, which is the lowest. That's implementer, which is not executing. In Colby world, it's using your hands, seeing things in a physical world, building things, cooking. If you ask me to I can't hold a pencil right here. Here. This is how I hold a pen. I can't, like, it's a nightmare for me.
Wow.
Horrible. I'd be a 0 if that existed. So I'm incredibly high in the first 3, which is unheard of, except for like Connie, and then would be a -3 million implementer if that existed.
Wow. That's incredible. So everybody go. Well, Jeffrey Gittimer says, don't be a cheap bastard. Go get your. Why is it important to even have that knowledge that's
wait, you're not asking that for yourself, are you?
No.
You're asking that for your audience? Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, so it's interesting. Again, Connie and I are the exception, but a true visionary, this is according to Colby, and then I talked to Gino Wickman, who's become a good friend, EOS. A true visionary is almost always an 8, 9, or 10 quick start. A true visionary, 7 or under, like Connie and me, can become a visionary, but they have to have exceptionally high IQ and or EQ, because you can game the system. So that's 1. 2, our firms, we only partner with visionaries. We've partnered with 2 people in 6 years under a 7 quick start that I know of. So I've just basically stopped talking. I mean, because they don't do anything. They overthink everything. So to me, that's a pointless conversation into nothing. So, and then it's funny because like the intros are like 3393 meets 2210-4, or 7671 meets 4293, and then you know who you're talking to immediately. But I don't even put what they do. I'm like, here's your Colby, and then take it.
Now I'm scared to take it just because I'm afraid you won't ever talk to me again.
No. So 1, you're at least an 8 quick start. At least, I would guess. You said you had high follow through. I'm guessing though you've had to learn that naturally. You're probably not. I'm guessing so. I would guess you're 4, 4, 449. And then do you build anything with your hands? Anything?
I
Anything?
mean, on a computer?
No,
Does
no,
that
no,
count?
no. Do you garden or did you fix a
Oh
tire?
God, no.
Okay, so a 4492 would be my guess for you. I'm writing that down.
4492.
And then your wife is probably like an 883 stabilizing human. High follow through, high fact finder. That'd be my guess.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Thank God.
that's got to be accurate.
Okay. 4492 is my guess for you. We will see.
We will see because I'll be taking it today. So
Right. 9 quick start.
let me ask you, because look, my this show, as you know, I mean, this show is watched by a lot of entrepreneurs all over the world and listened to all over the world. I would say that there's probably a lot of average people, at least performing averagely,
And they're still listening to this right now?
right?
No chance. No way. No way. They would have left.
He's not judging. He's just saying.
It's not judging. Why would anyone who doesn't? Why would someone, unless they're like laughing, but are like confused? There's no way. That's what happens. Is like the people that listen to the end are the ones that get it.
Yeah. Yes. So, okay. Well, pretend then for a moment, if you can, that a bunch of average people are because I may clip this part out and use it to promote this.
Okay.
So a bunch of average people are watching right now. They want to be way above average. What's the most valuable piece of advice you would give somebody to help them get unstuck in the lack of success in their life?
I don't know.
He has no empathy.
You want to promote that? I don't know. No.
Oh my God.
My wife says 3 words to me before parent teacher conferences. Don't say anything.
Oh my
we
God.
we're born with gifts. Everyone is born with a gift. And there are 2 reasons why most people are miserable in life. From a work purpose standpoint, 2. 1, they never find out what they're good at or what they like to do, so they're doing something every day that they're not good at or don't like to do. That's a tough life.
Yeah.
2, they actually find out what they like to do and what they're good at, and they don't do anything about it. I don't understand that in any capacity.
I don't either.
Okay, so I don't know if that's helpful. If you actually know what you like to do and what you're good at, then just do that. That helpful?
Oh my God. Joe Ingram has already texted me. He loves you, man. So do I. You're freaking amazing. So I want everybody watching, the right people. Well, it doesn't matter. Everybody watching, go get a copy of this book. What's your website? Let's put that up here on the screen. It's BR Epic?
Yeah, brepicllc.com. BREPICLLC.com. The book is called Epic Life. That's anywhere you can find books.
Amazon. Is it on your website?
No, it's a funny thing. Like, no, I don't. It doesn't. Again, like I don't think like about stuff like that. The website's just like a landing page. I haven't done anything. Again, I just provide value to right people, and then all this other stuff is taken care of. I'm not like a natural promoter. I just kind of live in my own world. Not a seller. I don't like that. People that sell. That's why we created LinkedIn without the BS. I don't like people selling me stuff. It's annoying to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I get it. What any other word? I know you have an appointment coming up.
Oh, thank
So
you. Yeah.
and any other words of wisdom that you'd like to leave the audience with today?
I really appreciate this opportunity. Excellent conversation. Really, just great stuff. I wish my wife was here. She would be laughing at me the whole time. And then you could meet my wife and then be like, why did she marry him? It'd be interesting. She's Harmony 1 on Strength Finders. Harmony. But so all right, I'm going to be a human here. So, if you're a dad, be a dad. So I'm a dad who happens to be an entrepreneur. I'm not an entrepreneur who happens to be a dad. And so there's a fundamental difference. We have 8 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what that means because we have 8 minutes and it'll sum up. So the greatest gift of being an entrepreneur by far, there's not even a close second here. I'm going to be a human kind of. Okay. Greatest gift is that, our children get to see this world even exist, and then they can do whatever they want with it. Most people don't know this world exists, so they're aliens, and then they're looking for other aliens, and many times they never find it. But so I'll tell you about our 8-year-old, our youngest. Our 10-year-old's a world champion, future world champion distance runner. He's a pure maniac, incredible athlete with my wife's empathy. He's a wonderful child, Jake. I'm going to tell you about our 8-year-old, Chase, who's wiser than I am with my wife's kindness and harmony. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Wow.
So he and I were, yeah, right. Yeah, so I'll explain what that is here. Again, this is the greatest joy of entrepreneur life. He and I went out for dinner a couple months ago, and we were talking about 2 things, IQ and then bending time. So most parents, I'm guessing, don't talk to their 8-year-old about that, but that's what my brain does. So my son Chase provided the single greatest definition of what life is that I've ever heard, and all I do is talk to geniuses. So, and bending time. So Chase, I'm paraphrasing what Chase said. So there's yesterday's before you were born, tomorrow's after you die. So life is one. It's one long great day. There's no Tuesday or Friday, whatever the hell that is.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So yesterday before you're born, tomorrow's after you die. So one life is one long great day. So there are 2 ways, only 2, because he's a simplifier like me. 2 ways to have a great long day. One, create more living things. Fundamental purpose of any living thing is to create more living things. I don't think there's an argument against that. If there is, then I don't think there is. We wouldn't be here if that was
right.
But okay, if there is an argument, great. I don't think there is. So that's 1. 2 is do what you like to do and what you're good at every single, every day or whatever that is, and get better at it. So that's the single best thing I've heard about what life actually is from anyone. And he's 8.
He said that.
That's correct. Yeah. That's what we talk about.
Wow. That's incredible.
He's a wonderful child. He's a pure genius with love and harmony. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing, dude. It's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you to my wife for creating him.
Well, you helped.
Kind of. Yes. He wants to be general in Army. 10-year-old wants to be Olympic champion, which his top 5K, he's 10. His top 5K is 20 minutes, 38 seconds. That's a maniac. That's a pure maniac. Yeah.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
Justin, you are definitely you're one of a kind, man. I mean, you really are. Like,
thank you.
Even if I'm being just completely real, I think Elon would if he sat down and had a conversation
That's why I
with
wrote
you,
the book.
he would be like,
That's
I
why I
don't know
wrote
what
the
just
book.
happened to my life, but it changed.
That's why I wrote it.
Wow.
Not for Elon personally, but that's why I wrote it.
Well, let's get it in his hands. We're on Twitter right now. He watches everything I do. I'm kidding.
Okay,
I don't know
tweet
that.
it to him. I don't know. I mean, that's not why I wrote it, but success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So if he reads it, great. I mean, if not, I mean, Peter's one of his good, Dr. Diamandis, one of his good friends. So
Wow. Incredible. And real fast, 2 more minutes.
Okay.
How important is it to be around the right people?
Right mindset creates right network, creates right opportunities.
Amen. I don't say it that eloquently, but I say it every day. Like, you got to get around the right people, like you do.
Can't get around the right people unless you have the right mindset.
Amen. I agree. Justin Breen, everybody, make sure you go follow him. He doesn't care if you follow him, by the way, whether you do or you don't. But follow him, get his book, and learn how to have an epic life. Save your family. That's what this book's about. Saving families. It's pretty amazing.
Thank you,
Justin,
friend.
thank you. Hang with me here for a minute. I'm going to end the live stream. If you'll hang on real quick.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much for coming on today and sharing your genius.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. We'll see you all later. Have a great weekend. Thanks so much.